Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of PPN NASCAR Now. Well, it's the preseason, we're a few days away from the 500. Tuesday night's the Busch Clash. I have Larry McNuggets for that. And then I have a few NASCAR preview things I got off of NASCAR Race Hub today. I hope y'all enjoyed them. Y'all enjoy them.
Good time for fun with McNuggets.
It's time for Larry McNuggets on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio.
By the way, Larry, my wife likes your McNuggets. I'll think about that little McNugget.
Didn't have to call it a little McNugget now.
That's a double Dunkin' Nugget.
There's only so many nuggets that you don't really touch.
Oh, right. Larry McNugget.
Shut up with your buzzer.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Oh, we've added a few. It's hard to believe.
It's
been
in 2021.
Essentially, I think I did a review, Larry McNugget, a few days or a couple of weeks after 2020 ended, but realistically, this will be the first Larry McNuggets in roughly 3 months. And you're right. I had to work very hard on these yesterday. Took me a while because I didn't want to get too locked down in the history of the Busch Clash on the Super Speedway because we're running it on the road course. So you're going to see a little mixture of stuff here. So this will be the 43rd running of the Busch Clash. And, of course, the first 42 of them will run right there on that 2.5-mile super speedway that will run the Daytona 500. Eric Jones won the Clash, the Busch Clash, 1 year ago, and he only led one lap. Obviously, he led the most important one, the last one. He joined 5 drivers that also did this in Busch Clash by only leading the last lap. Rusty Wallace in 1998, Neil Bonnet twice in 1983 and 84, Dale Earnhardt Sr. in 1980, Dale Jarrett in 2 of his 3 Busch Clash wins only led one lap, and Kevin Harvick in 2009. The draw for the starting position will be later on tonight. The crew chiefs are going to partake in that. And only 4 times has the Busch Clash been actually won from the pole. Most Busch Clash wins. Who has the most Busch Clash wins?
That would be a man that you know very well. In fact, you had a little bit of success with him down there in Daytona. That would be the man, Dale Earnhardt.
It is. I never won the Busch Clash with him, but he won it 6 times. 24 different drivers have been to victory lane in the Busch Clash out of the 42 times we have run it. Most consecutive starts in the Busch Clash. My now current teammate Jeff Gordon, 22 consecutive starts from 1994 to 2015. In fact, the only year as a full-time driver he was not in it was his rookie season in 1993. The first Busch Clash was run in 1979. Simply, can you tell me who won it?
Oof. If you have to throw it out there, is it the King?
Get that finger on the buzzer.
Dang it.
Well, that was going to be my guess, so I got nothing.
Yeah, I don't think the King ever won the Busch Clash. It was actually Buddy Baker driving the number 28 Gray Ghost for Harry Ranier Racing. Chevrolet has won 21 of our 42 Busch Clash races. Toyota has 5 wins in the Busch Clash, and they all have been in the past 9 races, and they've done it with 4 different drivers. Hamlin's won it twice. Kyle Busch won it once. Matt Kenseth won it once for Joe Gibbs Racing, and as mentioned, Eric Jones 1 year ago. We've had 9 different winners in the last 10 Busch Clash races. Who's the only driver to have 2 in the last 10?
It's down to 2 men. It's either Denny or Kevin, and I'm going to go with Denny.
You did. You went right. Yeah, Denny Hamlin won it in 14 and 16. Of the 21 drivers in the 2021 Busch Clash, there are 7 past winners. That means 14 are attempting to get their very first win. 21 drivers in our Busch Clash. How about this, Danielle? In 1981, there were only 7 drivers because for years, the only way you got in the Busch Clash, you had to sit on a pole. From the year before, And what happened in 1981 for the Busch Clash, it was pole winners from 1980. Cale Yarborough sat on the pole 14 times, roughly half the races in 1980. In fact, in that race with only 7 drivers, we only used to go down there and run 20 laps on Sunday afternoon. CBS carried it, and it was a 1-hour broadcast window. But DW won that race, and that was actually his only win in the Busch Clash.
And they ran it with just 7 cars.
7 cars. 7 cars, because we only had 7 pole winners from 1980.
That's great.
All right, here's a question. Hadn't been that long ago, a year ago. Who finished second to Eric Jones in the Busch Clash last year?
Nobody remembers who finishes second in sports. What a question. Pat, you want to take a stab? I have zero clue.
Sure, since you keep taking the ones I keep getting right in my head, I'm going to say Bubba Wallace.
Don't think he was in it last year.
Good
it was
answer, Patrick.
Austin Dillon, in case in point, it doesn't matter who finishes second in the Busch Clash. It's all about going to victory lane and getting that trophy. Of our 21 drivers in the Busch Clash, only 8 has a win in the Cup Series on a road course. Of those 8, which driver has the most road course wins in the Cup Series?
Now the easy answer, the answer people are going to say is Chase Elliott. But I have a feeling this is a trick question.
I don't know.
Another driver, I don't know. Should I go with Chase? Okay, Chase Elliott.
It is 5, all in the last 7 races. And I think we mentioned to him, sitting right now on 4 consecutive wins. All right, in our last 9 Cup road course races, Chase Elliott has 5. Martin Truex Jr. has 3. Who is the other driver to win a road course race in our last 9 road course races? And, of course, that would be between the Daytona road course, the Charlotte Roval, Sonoma, and Watkins Glen, even though we didn't go to Sonoma or Watkins Glen last year. Who has that other win in our last 9 road course races?
I feel like Harvick won semi-recently at Sonoma. Is it Harvick?
It is not Kevin Harvick.
Ryan Blaney.
It is Ryan Blaney, the Charlotte Roval, the inaugural Charlotte Roval race in 2018. Who is the only, and this is tough, this was tough to do, the only rookie to win the Busch Clash? The only rookie to win the Busch Clash. It's happened once.
I would have said Jeff Gordon, but you said the only time he didn't run in the Clash was his rookie season, so that'll take him off the board. Let me go Dale Jr.
It is not Dale Jr.
Kevin Harvick.
It is not Kevin Harvick. So what happened here, remember, for years and years and years, it was only pole winners from the previous year. But in 2005, Denny Hamlin came in and ran 7 races in the number 11 FedEx car, and lo and behold, sat on the pole in the fall Phoenix race, came back to Daytona the following February as a rookie, and won the Busch Clash. Of active drivers, only 2 drivers have 3 Busch Clash wins. Who are those 3 drivers active, those 2 drivers that are active that's won it 3 times?
That would be Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick.
You are spot on. Now, unfortunately, tomorrow night, no driver can actually join them because there is no active driver right now that has 2 wins in the Busch Clash. Only 6 times has a driver won the Busch Clash and went on to win the Daytona 500 in the same speed weeks. And this is a pretty elusive group, I would say. Bobby Allison did it in 1982. Bill Elliott did it in 1987. In fact, that was Bill's only win in the Busch Clash. Dale Jarrett did it twice, 1996, 2000. Jeff Gordon did it in 1997. Who is the last driver to win the Busch Clash and come back and win the Daytona 500 in the same speed week?
I'm going to guess again. I'm going to dip back into this well and guess the King.
No, I don't think the King ever won. Now, how would that be the most recent? Tell me that. How
the
in
most
world?
recent.
Kevin Harvick.
It is not Kevin Harvick. You just gonna ride that Kevin Harvick bandwagon as long as you can, aren't you?
Why not?
One more shot, Danielle. Y'all have
How
kind
about
of been
Joey
all
Logano?
over. It is not Joey Logano. It was actually, you got him right 2 or 3 times. Denny Hamlin in 2016 won the Busch Clash.
Shoot.
And won the Daytona 500. Only one time, and I'm just going to give you this because there is no way you're going to know this. Only one time has a driver won the Busch Clash in both points races at Daytona in the same year. In other words, won the Busch Clash, the Daytona 500, and the summer race. You want to just take a stab at it?
He said we'll never get it, Pat. So
I know you're going to go with the King again, but the King's never won the Busch Clash.
I was gonna say Dale Jr. Pat, who do you have?
No.
We'll say
You gotta
Denny
go.
Hamlin.
No, you got to go way back, boys and girls.
Buddy
A
Baker.
man that's my hero, Bobby Allison, did it in 1982. He won the Busch Clash, won the Daytona 500, came back in July, well before lights were ever placed at Daytona, and won the 1982 summer race. That is the first Larry McNuggets of 2021, and that's the Larry McNuggets for Monday, February 8th, 2021.
And when it gets to this time of the year, David, we just want to go.
You know, our good friend Larry McReynolds, he starts this Daytona countdown all the way several months ago. Well, Adam, we're here. We can do the math from here. 6 days to the Daytona 500. Cars on track tomorrow. I mean, we are ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, you know, crew chief, head down, digging all off season. You're thinking, hey, November, December, I got time, and then January, you know, hustle and bustle, and then all of a sudden you see a piece like that, and we better get on the racetrack in a couple days and go racing.
Yeah, I just think you got a note from Larry McReynolds. I mean, his ego has got to be bursting. We made it 2 minutes into the season. He's not in studio till tomorrow night, but you slid right in the Daytona 500
I was thinking
countdown.
about you, Larry.
Hey, if anybody knows the season is here, it's Drew, because he's been working hard, getting those cars ready for Daytona. But I remind you of this. It's been 13 weeks since we left Phoenix. A lot has transpired in that amount of time.
The highly anticipated 2021 season has finally arrived, and it's already proving to be the best season ever with Denny trying to snag his 3rd straight 500 win. You think you can make history happen, Hamlin? Yeah! A couple of first-time star-studded teams joined the NASCAR fam with names synonymous with winning. Michael Jordan. Ever heard of him? He teamed up with Hamlin as co-owner of 2311 and put Bubba behind the wheel. And you can't forget Pitbull. No, not that one. Ah, there he is. All new twists and turns as 2021 welcomes new tracks to the schedule. Rockin' in Nashville, keeping it weird in Austin, and getting extra dirty in Bristol. Sure, we may have said goodbye to a 7-time champ, and arguably the funniest guy in NASCAR. But JJ's legacy behind the wheel isn't going away anytime soon. And that crazy cat Boyer, well, he'll be in the booth with the boys. Any current bets on his go-to catchphrase? How about that? 7 past champs are trying to score a series title. Rowdy, don't get greedy. You already have 2. Who's the champ? But they have a lot to contend with. Only 6 drivers have been in the series for more than 15 years. It seems like the roster keeps getting younger and younger. Might have to start putting in booster seats. 2021, the best season ever. Enjoy the ride.
There's a lot to unpack there, and for some reason I keep going back to Boyer saying, how about that? And the fun is just beginning for Fox as we get set for some fun racing in the booth because the schedule this year, it looks totally different.
The 2021 Cup Series season begins with back-to-back races in Daytona as the Great American Race is followed up by another trip around the infield road course before we wrap up the month in February in Homestead, Miami. On March 28th, Bristol gets a facelift with a fresh coat of dirt. Then things heat up in the Lone Star State when we visit Circuit of Americas in Austin for the first time. while the All-Star race moves to Texas in June. Nashville Super Speedway will host its first Cup Series race this summer before Road America returns to the schedule for the first time since 1956. Late in the regular season, Atlanta picks up its second race, with the Brickyard 400 swaps the famed oval in for a trip around the road course. As we enter the playoffs, the only change we see is Texas and Kansas flip-flopping dates in the round of 8.
If you win the championship this year, you're going to earn it. What stands out about?
Wow, I'm so looking forward to NASCAR returning this week. I will have more podcast specials. I'm working on PPN NASCAR Classics too, so I will be delivering one of them podcasts. Thank y'all for listening, and go and like my Facebook page, PPN NASCAR Now. Have a good day, y'all, and God bless.